Welcome all to Movement Yoga Morning. 17 minutes, short and sweet. To get your day started, my name is Mark Cormier. I'll be practicing with Kathy Cormier this morning. Let me get our bricks in place here. If any of you all who are watching live would like to see something specifically, I'll try to check the chat every so often. And if you're working on record and would like to see something next week, of course, put in a comment. We've got Savannah with her squeaky toy. We'll see what happens with that.
Good morning.
Hey, Kath, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Good morning, people.
You ready to get going?
Ready?
All right. Let's put hands on hips and start small. Just shifting the weight from side to side. And then let it get bigger. So lift one foot up. And then lift up the other. And now starting those slow kicks off to one side as you balance on one foot. And now let's move back to earth as we find our feet, rocking it from side to side. And finding our center. Now let's rock it front to back as we lift heels or lift toes. Articulating the foot as we lay it down and pick it on up. Next time your heels are lifted, I'll invite you to hold those heels up. Could you lift the heels up higher? And higher. And higher. Now articulating the foot as you lay it back down, lifting up those toes. Could you lift those toes up a little higher? Could you spread those toes a little wider? Now laying the toes down one at a time. From our feet finding our legs, from our legs finding our spine. Relax shoulders, hands by your side. I'll invite you to bring one hand onto your heart, the other hand on top. Soft tuck of the chin, soft eyes. I'll invite you to set an intention for this practice. It could be all kinds of things, something you're thinking about, something you're moving towards. It could be as simple as you're perfect, just as you are. Keeping this intention in mind, finding namaste hands, a light press of your thumb against your chest as you line up each finger. With your intention in mind, starting to work with your breath as you lengthen your inhalation and lengthen your exhalation. Do this longer, slower breath, finding the Ujjayi breath, a power breath, slightly constricting the base of your throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice this morning, letting the sound and feel of your Ujjayi breath be a focus of your practice. The sound of which is often compared to the sounds of the ocean as the waves wash in and out. Now finding the tongue loop as you take the tip of your tongue to the hard palate just behind your teeth. Keeping that tongue loop throughout the practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. Finally, with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face. A Mona Lisa smile. Opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, stretching out your wrists as you roll your hands over. Hands by your side. Hands come back to the hips as we ground down through a set of toes, circling the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Inviting in more flow. Inviting in more prana. And then taking those circles the other way. Now grounded down through that foot, other set of toes, as we circle the knee, the ankle, and hip. And take it the other way. Now bringing the feet right together, capping the knees with the hands as we circle those knees. Inviting in more prana. Inviting in more flow. And then taking those circles the other way. Now coming back up, feet hip width apart, hands find the back of the hips, circling those hips. And then taking those circles the other way. Pretending we have an extra set of hands, keeping the hips relatively stable, a thumb on each shoulder as we circle our shoulders. And taking those circles the other way. Back to center, arms in the air like you either do or don't care. Thumb and forefinger of one hand catch the wrist of the other with contraction that far shoulder. And then starting to circle the shoulders one way as we circle the hips the other. Now coming back center, other thumb and forefinger catch other wrist, traction that other far shoulder. And then circling the shoulders one way as we circle the hips the other. Full body movement. And then back to center. Hands by your side. Let's release and relax the shoulders a little bit as we inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. Let the exhale come out of the mouth as we let those shoulders drop. Do that 6 times. One more here. Keeping the shoulders heavy, looking up, and then looking down as you stretch out the neck. Next time you look up, holding that as we stretch out the base of our throat, taking it just a little bit further. Now looking down as we stretch out the back of our neck, taking it just a little further. And then back to center. Shoulders stay heavy as we dip an ear one way and dip the ear the other. Back and forth between the sides. Next time your head's on one side or the other, she's going to knock the camera over. Let's stop this game right now. We're doing a yoga practice. Just ignore her. Next time your head's on one side or the other, you're going to hold that shape as you stretch out the far side of the neck. Head comes to center, other side, holding. As we stretch out the other far side of the neck. And back to center. Thumbs come back to the shoulders as we jut the chin forward and draw the chin back. Just back and forth. Noticing the origin of the neck, a lot longer than it looks in the mirror. Next time that chin is jutted forward, holding that, taking it just a little further. Drawing the chin back, holding that, and taking it a little bit further. And then back to center. Hands by your side. Let's work the jaw a little bit as we rock it from side to side. And then rocking it front to back. And then back to center. I'll ask you to go sideways, Kathy, grabbing those bricks if you'd like. It's okay, she's not going to jump out. Make sure you're front of frame. Nice. All right. So it's finding our Tadasana, finding our feet. I'm going to stand up straight and tall here. Relax shoulders. Working just the arms and shoulders as we inhale the arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling arms back down. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathing in, arms up. Exhaling arms down. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Adding a forward fold and a back bend. Inhaling arms up. On the exhale, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail as we arc the back. Now strong tuck of the tail, strong tuck of the chin as we round it in, stretching out your back. On the inhale, finding your neutral spine. Leading with back heart, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. 2 more times like this. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail as we arc. On the exhale, tucking the tail, tucking the chin, stretching out your back. Inhaling, finding your neutral spine. Arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. 1 more like that. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Exhaling, tucking the tail, tucking the chin. Feel the stretch. And then finding your neutral spine. Arms out to the side and bent overhead. Exhaling, standing tall. I'll cue you back to down dog. Inhaling up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Let an inhale lift chin and tail. Exhaling, tucking tail and chin as you fold it in. And then ground it down through the hands as you step one foot back and then the other, finding your down dog. As we hold this first down dog, I'll invite you to hold it in stillness, inviting your mind to still. Despite the lack of overt movement, you're still breathing, your heart's still beating, your mind's still moving. And by focusing on your Ujjayi breath as it flows in and out, finding a little more space between each breath, each beat of the heart, each thought. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher, finding just a little more space in your back. And then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your neck. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive, lifting chin and tail, really dipping back hard. On the exhale, puffing back hard as you fold it in, strong tuck at the tail, strong tuck at the chin. On the inhale, finding your neutral spine, arms out to the side, bend overhead. On the exhale, hands by your side. I'll cue you back to plank pose. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, finding length as you arc. Feel free to grab those knees. You can work up higher or grab those bricks. On the exhale, strong tuck of the tail, strong tuck of the chin, grabbing the back of the shins as you traction yourself deeper. And then ground it down through the hands as you step the other foot back, finding your plank pose. As we hold the plank for a few breaths, feeling that connection between head, hips, and heels. Connecting to a line of strength running through the center of yourself. A line of strength that supports your attention. Despite the effort of the action, an easeful quality to your breath. Long, smooth breaths in. Long, smooth breaths out. An attribute that makes it yoga. Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, navel to spine as you lift the hips high, back to down dog. I'll invite you to walk this dog as you bend one leg deeply and then the other. Grounding down through the opposite heel. And then freely moving back and forth between the sides. Stirring it up. Inviting in more prana. Inviting in more flow. From this place of movement, back towards stillness. Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. As goes the breath, so goes the mind. Tail end of a breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump in front. Let an inhale bring length, really dipping back hard. Exhaling, really puffing back hard as you traction yourself deeper. Feel free to catch the back of the shins of the thighs. On the inhale, arms out to the side and then overhead, finding your neutral spine. On the exhale, standing tall. Let's do one more sun salad. Inhaling up into Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, finding your forward fold. Inhaling, finding length as you arc the back. On the exhale, strong arch as you stretch out your back. And then ground it down through the hands as you find your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend. And then exhaling back to down dog. Take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. As we hold down dog, yogi's choice. Either holding it in stillness, inviting your mind to still, or adding some movement, stirring it up. However you choose to work, find that mind-body connection that's always there. What do you feel? And where do you feel it? No kisses in class. All right, you can do a few kisses.
She's a caregiver. She's a care dog.
Long, smooth breath in.
She's power patrol.
Long, smooth breath out.
You're the dog everybody wants.
Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump in front. I don't know if you're going to get past her. There you go. Let an inhale bring length as you arc. Exhaling, arching the back as you fold. Inhaling, arms out to the side and then overhead. On the exhale, standing tall. Sun Sal B, flow style. Make sure you've got some clearance in back. Inhaling into tall spine. Keeping tall spine, exhaling, finding your chair. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower. On the inhale, rising on up, finding a back bend at the top. Exhaling over. Inhaling, creating length as you arc the back. On the exhale, strong tuck of the tail, strong tuck of the chin as you're rounded in. And then grounded down through the hand, finding your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend. And then back to down dog, but not for long. There's lots going on in this one. From down dog, flow style. Feet together, right leg high for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes, I want you to come a little forward. Stretching out Achilles tendon and calf, really lift that grounded heel, yeah, feel the stretch. Now looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as you float it on through. Landing that foot lightly. Spinning the back heel down. Back leg long. Back leg strong. Inhaling up. And then exhaling. Back to your little lunge as you spin that heel up. And then cycling through vinyasa as you find your push-up. Inhaling into your back bend. And then back to down dog. Not for long. Flow style. Feet together. Left leg high. High on the right toes as we stretch out Achilles tendon and calf. Now looking between the hands, pitching that leg even higher. And then flexing the foot as you float it on through. Spinning the back heel down. Back leg long. Back leg strong. Inhaling up. And then riding your exhale. Back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will. Take your time, find your flow. And as we hold down dog, again, we have a choice, either holding it in stillness, stirring it up, maybe a combination of the two. As you start to tune in, what do you feel? And where do you feel it? Long, smooth breath in. Equally long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between your hands as you step or jump in front. Let an inhale bring length when you arrive, arcing the back, really dipping back hard, really lifting chin and tail. On the exhale, strong tuck of the tail, strong tuck of the chin. You feel free to traction yourself deeper as you stretch out your back. On the inhale, stay low. Knees over toes, neutral spine in your chair pose. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one more Sun Sal B. We'll add a hip opener to the mix. Inhaling into tall spine. Exhaling, finding your chair. Inhale and hold. Exhale, go lower. Inhale, rising on up. Exhaling, a big swan dive over. Finding vinyasa. You can always skip it if you're starting to get tired. Just let me know. Flow style. Feet together, right leg high. High on the left toes. Yeah, really lift that heel up, the left foot. Really stretch that Achilles tendon. There you go. Pressing right armpit down towards the floor to stabilize the shoulder. Lifted leg straight as you stack the hips. Now, bending that top leg, opening up the hip with the weight of the bent leg. Now, looking between the hands, pitching that knee even higher. And then flexing the foot as you float it on through. Spinning the back heel down. Inhaling up into warrior one. And then riding the exhale back to low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will. Take your time. Find your flow. Follow your breath. From down dog, flow style. Feet together, left leg high. High on the right toes. Really feel the stretch in Achilles tendon and calf. Pressing left armpit down towards the floor to stabilize that shoulder. Lifted leg straight as we stack the hip. Now bending that lifted leg, opening up that hip with the weight of the bent leg. And then looking between the hands, pitching that knee even higher. And then flexing the foot as you float it on through. Landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, arms out to the side. And then overhead warrior one. And then riding your next exhale. Back to low lunge, and then one more time this morning. Flowing through vinyasa as you make your way back to down dog, as you will. As we hold this last down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your Ujjayi breath flows in and as your Ujjayi breath flows out. Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending your knees ever so slightly, lifting the tailbone just a little bit higher. And then looking between the hands as you step or jump in front. Let an inhale bring length as you arc, really lifting chin and tail. Feel that dip in back heart. On the exhale, puffing back heart. Strong tuck of the tail, strong tuck of the chin. Feel free to traction it deeper. On the inhale, stay low, finding your neutral spine in chair pose. Knees over toes. Taking it deeper on the exhale. Inhale, rising on up, open heart, open throat, big back bend at the top. On the exhale, hands by your side. Back to neutral spine. I'll invite you to face the camera now. As you bring one hand onto your heart, the other hand on top. Coming back to your intention. Now finding Namaste hands. A light press of your thumb against your heart as you line up each finger. Bringing those thumbs to your forehead. Your intention is in your thoughts. Bringing those thumbs to your lips. Your intention is in your words. Bringing those thumbs back to your heart. Your intention is in your actions. Now rolling your hands over as you stretch out your wrists. Hands by your side. 3 ancillary breaths. Big breaths in. The arms move out to the side. The fingers widen as do your ribs. Exhaling, hands back in. 2 more times. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. And then hands come back to your heart. A bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer this practice out to each other and to the world. The light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, everybody.
Of course. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Namaste.